our critical issue of the month has been cash flow. We want to ask you guys just rapid fire ways people can start affecting their cash flow. There's a few more weeks in the year, maybe people's fiscal years in a couple months. How can they affect cash flow now, today, and go?
All right. First thing, I was just in a company in Alaska and I saw all the inventory they had in their parts department and said, why don't you put a dollar value and magic marker on each and every box so that people really understood that they had $4 million in parts and that was way too much.
Wow. Dave, you got one?
That's a really good one. Looking at inventory levels, if supply chain in their industry is, leveling off, do they still need to carry 3 weeks worth of inventory instead of a week? Another interesting conversation that I had with some companies that are in a good cash position was to extend terms with the customers. And so they increased revenue by 15% for the month because some of their customers wanted the extended term and would make a purchase now to be able to pay for it in January or February. So the revenue is good, which is offsetting the fixed cost for the month, but the cash isn't going to come in until January, February, but it's going to secure a stronger relationship with the customer because the competition wasn't offering those terms.
Wow, that's interesting and awesome, Dave. Never thought of it that way. Thank you. Another one that we've used in the past is discount for 14 days payment instead of 30, and or prepay. You're getting the cash quicker and not having to go on a line of credit or whatnot. So, 1, 2, 3% prepay versus 7 or 8% on a line of credit.
That's a good one, Kevin. I had a company that was a little worried about their backlog of projects for construction, remodeling company. And I talked them into doing a 6-month price match. And they had 36 jobs come in November and December.
Wow.
By discounting only up to 5%. But the messaging was Amazon, Best Buy, all these other companies are trying price matching. And what they were also getting was the competitive information.
That's outstanding.
And down payments, right? With the construction.
Yeah.
It goes back to teaching basic financial literacy too, just teaching your people, hey, this is when the contract signs, this is a down payment or teaching them when the payments come in and when the cash flows out, especially in construction, Kylie, when you're paying paychecks every week or every other week, but you only get the bill once a month to your client, and you show how that cash flow goes. That can be impactful to people.
I have one that came to us when we were talking to Aaron from automotive is he talked to the engineers on only order what you need right now. Their bonus kicker was cash flow. So it was really impacting them directly of, hey, you might need 25, but let's order the extra, but you need 20 right now. Let's order the extra 5 when you need them.
That's a good one. As we're looking, cash flow, it's receivables, payables, inventory. But as we're looking at high involvement planning and companies are establishing next year's budget and it's time to call vendors and negotiate terms, we like to say, change the time frame to gain leverage in the conversation. Call your vendors and say, hey, look, this is what we've learned about the economy and the external forces that are impacting our growth. And here's our 5-year plan. And here's how you're included in it. And then this vendor goes, oh, wow, we've got business with you for 3 to 5 years and you're using good information to plan. Oh, and by the way, can we talk about terms? Yeah. And so it's a better segue in there rather than trying to get an additional 2 weeks.
Another thing that we've done in the past was in those negotiations with vendors, didn't realize that we're a $1, $2, $3, $5 million company, but then an advisor told us you can get better pricing because you're big. So as your volume grows, your vendors will like that. And we ended up on a rebate program where we got up to 4% of our purchases back in our worst cash flow time of year. So that was a huge infusion because we just applied it to credit to what we were using and saved us from going into a line of credit in our off season.
Nice. Never hurts to ask.
Kevin and I grew up in the restaurant business. Do you know 5 years ago what Coca-Cola's terms were with chain national companies was?
Mm-mm.
They paid on 14 months.
Wow. Wow.
Talk about getting big and demanding terms.
Whoa. That's another year.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
I'll pay you next year.
Yeah. I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a cheeseburger today.
Thank you guys so much for this. This is so great. We always love your advice in Coach's Corner, and rapid fire is really fun. You guys are quick anyways. So, we've been also looking at, we've been hearing a lot of cash being a kicker for bonus plans. So if anyone has any questions on that, reach out to one of these two. They are really great at figuring out how you can attach it to people's personal growth and what it means to them on a day-to-day basis. Any imparting words, fellas?
Cash is king, has been, always will be. So,
Yeah.
figuring out that cash to cash cycle, it can be really critical to your business. And employing mini games around that. We had one accounting firm, their cash to cash was 96 days. And in a mini game, in over 90 days, we chopped that down to 43 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's about education and learning. What we failed as a country to learn between 2014 and 19, when we had all this growth, if revenue and profits were great, cash took care of itself. And now we're learning that if there's going to be revenue pressure, crap, now we have to figure out cash. And so forecasting cash is hard. Okay. But you just got to sit down and figure it out. It's also okay to talk, and Kevin was talking about terms. It's also okay to talk to your bank. If you're financially healthy or if you have a good financial plan, banks might look at your line of credit differently.
Love it. Thank you guys so much. You are awesome. And we will see you guys very soon. Anybody have any questions? You know where to find us.